Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Butter What Show on the internet here. We're filming in front of a live YouTube audience. It's a slower day today. We've only got about 6 people out there. Isn't that's exciting, though, because I'm amazed anyone watches.
They're hardcore fans.
Absolutely hardcore fans. And we just did a 3D printing episode previously, but we've got another couple of 3D printing 3D printing and PC related things. We've got a couple of 3D printed NAS cases. No, that's a lie. This one's not in. This is just a. This claims to be a gaming PC.
Small form factor cases.
Small form. What makes it small form factor, Tubby?
Well, they're both Mini ITX for Mini ITX motherboards.
They're little.
He's
telling me they're little. They're small.
They don't understand because they're small.
So I know. I'm not going to let him tell you, but he's planning on finally migrating his NAS into a 3D printed case that he 3D printed like 12 years ago. But before we get to that, a couple of weeks ago, I found, no, not a couple of, this was posted 8 days ago, so I didn't find it more than 8 days ago.
We're rounding up to the nearest week.
Okay,
up to the nearest.
2 weeks ago, I found this 3D printed ITX case. And this was posted by the user named Flying T on Reddit here, and I'll play the video while we're talking. This is a little guy. It's got room for like a hard, like maybe a solid state drive, the motherboard, video card, and that's pretty much it. This is a very 2D design, Brian, for being 3-dimensional, which is fine.
That's fantastic.
This probably prints pretty fast. It's mostly platforms that you screw together. Lots of screws.
Yep. Yeah, I like that it's
and
not
I
very
like
tall.
that big opening on the side, if I'm not mistaken, here where the video card lives.
Yep.
Is he going to put one in there?
I don't know.
No, he just put the case together for us. But this case is available on cults3d.com. for $4.05 if you'd like to print your own. And he's got a list of parts up here. Oh, this is it. Tubby, we figured it out. I'm going to tell you guys before I tell you what I just learned. I thought maybe his name, I couldn't figure out if his name was board engineer or if that's like his class or his title. But it says here Dito49, which that fits with the Bandito Chinchilla up the top. So whoever this belongs to, full credit to this. It's an awesome piece of work here. Okay, there's the power button. Yeah, so this is that's open and this is fully closed. Yeah, lots of airflow. That video card is just sitting by this grill here. So that's...
If your power goes out, you're in big trouble. But if you're in Texas and the power goes out in the winter, you can run that off of your UPS and heat your house for a little while.
We hope so. We hope so. But I'm going to segue into our friend Toby has this awesome, he calls it, it's an awesome Mini ITX NAS storage server case called the MK735. And I think Brian can tell us more about that because he has one sitting behind him there.
I do.
Somewhere.
I've had one. I got a chance. This is 2 or 3 years ago now. Toby reached out to me and asked what I thought about a 3D printed NAS, and people have asked that before, and I've always told people it'd be really impressive, and it would be, a huge 3D print. I mean, it would be a lot of assembly, a lot of 3D printing time, and Toby asked me if I was interested in looking at one that he had 3D printed. And he sent me a couple pictures, and I said, before the minute that he said, "Do you want to look at it?" I wanted to say yes, but we had a conversation. He sent it to me, and I said it in the blog at the time. It's amazing. I've 3D designed things on my own, and they're all small, simple.
Dito49's case is fantastic. But it's very 2-dimensional. Toby has done a good job of taking advantage of the 3rd dimension.
Yes.
Of the 3D printer. There are so many pieces here that fit together like a puzzle. It's beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, and in one after seeing it, Toby sent it to me a prototype. You know, it wasn't finished, and I got invited to be, you know, among some beta testers for the final design, and I mean, at looking at it, I decided right then and there. I said, you know, I'd not been printing things that took days to print, and I said, this is the thing that I want to try and print. This is going to be my penultimate 3D print, and I did it, and I fully intended to rapidly migrate my own DIY NAS right into it once the print was finished. But then I'm lazy. I kept waiting for, you know, something to break or something to need replacing. I had just recently swapped out the motherboard because it had failed and I'd RMA'd it. So I wasn't really feeling like rebuilding the DIY NAS again. But
So what's your plan now? What are you gonna?
My plan now is my next DIY NAS build. So for 2021, I'm gonna build a NAS for me. I'm gonna upgrade my old DIY NAS, and I'm gonna build we'll call it my dream NAS right into my MK735, and I'm really excited about that. I don't know how much of it you can see over my shoulder, but just about everything except the motherboard is behind me there. I've got a time-lapse video. That's just of me struggling on one particular step of getting the puzzle piece put together. It was hysterical, but yeah, I actually had to get out power tools. But in that same blog, there's a time-lapse of all of my prints, all of my assembly. It was a fantastic little project.
I can't wait to see it all put together.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, here's the assembly. This was fun.
But what are the specs on Toby's MK735? It's different than the other thing that holds like one or two SSDs,
Yep.
a motherboard, and a PCI card. And
So
that's the whole thing.
The thing that probably makes it the most different is the number of drives that you can fit into it. You can fit 7 3.5-inch drives and two 2.5-inch drives. A full-size ATX power supply, a mini ITX.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, a mini ITX motherboard.
Yeah, the big power supply gives you room for finding a more efficient, quieter
Yep.
model instead of a little ITX power supply where they put those
And I need to...
tiny little fans in there. So while Brian's doing his research, I'm going to tell you some of the 3D printing specs on this. The STL files are for sale on myminifactory.com. We'll have a link to Toby's store in the description. It requires 2.6 kilograms, so about a spool and a third of PLA, and 250 grams of flexible filament. And the time to print that is estimated here at about 12,000 minutes.
Tall prints take a long time.
Tall prints take forever.
But
yeah, this is pretty compact. I don't remember this being that much bigger than the metal micro NAS case that you already have.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know it's bigger because it fits an ATX power supply, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously bigger. But
yeah, I don't know how well you can see it in the background there. They're right next to each other.
But we
yeah.
could have looked at it. But it's rather compact for what you could fit.
Yeah.
It's compact and rather dense.
Yes, yeah. The year that Toby sent it to me, I didn't fully assemble the DI, but I put the motherboard in and I connected all the drives, and yeah, it's quite dense.
So what kind of specs are you putting in? What kind of anything you're willing to tell us? Well, can you break the embargo? Can you give us the...
Well, I've normally I save this kind of sneak peek behind the scenes content for my patrons on Patreon. But you know, I've decided I want to upgrade everything about my own DIY NAS. So
Except the drives, right?
except the drives. Yeah, I'm gonna move my drives into this NAS, and those are gonna be the same. But yeah, more CPU, twice the amount of RAM. So it's a Xeon D2123T CPU. Look at that mango-ness.
Oh, am I running out? No, I'm not. It's going. Okay, Xeon, I'm sorry.
Xeon D2123 CPU, 64 gigs of, I think, DDR4 ECC RAM, a pair of 1 terabyte SSDs that I hope, and I don't know if this will work, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to pre-partition them and use them for an OS, for the OS and for both the ZFS secondary intent log and the level 2 ARC for caching to hopefully
You'll be able to make it happen.
Yeah,
I have faith.
I have a little bit of faith. I'll mangle my way through it.
Toby's case is a work of art.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally, you hear a case is I don't care about the case. If it fits all this stuff and it's easy to work on, I'm happy. I hide it underneath everything. I don't care. But when I saw Toby's case, I said, boy, I wouldn't mind having one of those in my office. That's nice.
Yep.
And it really is. Nice work, Toby.
Very good job.
What do you find folks out there in YouTube land think? Did Brian and I do a pretty good job today? If we did, you can let us know by hitting that like button down there. Or maybe you want to leave us a comment and let us know if we're doing a good job. And if we didn't do a good job, that's something you can leave in the comments too. You can tell us why we were wrong, what we did wrong, how stupid we are. You can tell everybody you don't like my haircut.
We live stream the recording of these episodes on the first Tuesday of every month, and we're inviting you to come join us. Make sure you subscribe to the Butter What channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future live streams and episodes.
You don't even have to wait until the next live stream. You can come and hang out with us in Discord and participate in our community over there. There's a link in the description. So if you want to check that out, you can definitely do that. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope we get to see you next time.